Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the review. This time is the Mezco 112 Collective, Thor Ragnarok Hulk. And I know you guys have seen a bunch of other reviews by now. Uh, it is not looking good for the Hulk. Unfortunately, it looks great, but that's just about it. There are a lot of issues with it stemming from it being their first Hulk, and it's just, I wish it was better. I wish I can say more positive things about it. The case in point is that Hulk actually turned out to be a dud, which sucks, but, it happens. Lemons make lemonade, right? Anyway, let's get into the review, and we're going to talk about why there are good things, but there's also bad things. But we're going to get into that. First thing I want to point out is that there is a slight discoloration with the head, as in with the rest of the body. It seems to be a darker, not more. It's a darker shade of green, more like a miscoloration. And under light, it looks pretty good. But the problem is, without light, it you'll see the absence of it. It's a darker green. It just doesn't really work completely. Almost like they wanted to add the shading of the helmet with it being the absence of light, but it just doesn't work out with the rest of the green being so nice and shiny. Now, in terms of articulation, with the helmeted head, it can't really look up, can't really look down, it can only look left and right. So you're already hindered by articulation due to the helmet. Now, I'm going to put on the other head. I'm going to go over that for a second. Actually, I'll just do that first. Here we have the extra head. And while this also looks like a different shade of green, it matches it a lot better than the helmeted head. And it's just something that I had a problem with. I just really wish, I like the sculpt a lot. I just really wish the paint job was more even with the rest of the body. So you can see, you can look up, look down. It can actually has way more rotation than the previous one did, but not a lot more. Just better without the helmeted head. So we're going to pop this on. Next up, let's go into articulation. Now, as far as the arms go, you're only going to get about this far. Even on both arms, you're only going to get about this far. Which sucks because I was actually expecting a lot more articulation. To be honest, I was expecting a body that had basically that of Punisher or any other figure would be double jointed. The fact that we got single joints on Hulk is a step backwards for Mezco. I'm guessing it's something that they have to learn from experience, because giving him single jointed that just turns right here, you can barely make an L shape that's positive. It looks like a Donkey Kong knockoff. But it's just, I'm not happy with it. The rotation is strong. It can hold up the joints. It will be able to hold up weapons. But it's just, I felt like it would be better for Hulk. There's also a little bit of paint rub here for me. It doesn't happen on my other Hulk, but this is my review one. So it could just be this one. I have a bit of a paint rub issue. But it doesn't really bother me considering I have more than one. Next up, we're going to go into the ab articulation. There is none. So this one actually pisses me off a lot, like that of the Figma Hulk. The ab crunch is that of a swiveling joint. Now, that's fine and dandy. As you see, I rotated very far down. I would actually be okay with this if you had better arm articulation, even a butterfly joint, that would allow you to do more Hulk-like moves. But with his helmet on, he can barely do too many poses. It doesn't really work. So even if you sacrifice some of the articulation, you sacrifice all of it. So now you're sitting here with a figure that's basically a small Hot Toy. Now, having a Hot Toys Hulk, I can tell you this is the same exact articulation as the Hot Toys Hulk. So it's not really an issue if you collect Hot Toys, but as people who want to pose, play, and display, this is just a bad look. It's something that I hope going forward they change, they recognize it, and they do better. But this one was just a dud. Now, as far as leg articulation goes, leg only goes about this far. Again, I don't know if it's the cloth that's in the way, or maybe I'm not. Oh, wait, we can get a little bit higher. But again, I'm not a big fan of this. It doesn't work for me. Also single jointed, and I popped off the foot, but it didn't break. I just popped it off because I'm too strong. Again, single jointed. The ball joint on the ankles is actually really great. That actually rotates really well. I'm a fan of that, but this single jointed nonsense is it's despicable. But again, learning curve. First Hulk, I'm guessing the mistakes are made. I'm hoping it doesn't happen again. The armor is actually removable, which is pretty dope. You can remove it here on the arms, on both the left and the right arm. As you can see, it comes off, comes down. But I'm going to put that back up there. I'm going to pop this head back on. The shoulder armor comes off as well. Don't want to strip it down. These actually come off as well. But again, in terms of articulation, it's a dud. In terms of paint, it's mismatched, so that makes it a dud. But overall, look and sculpt, gotta say it's impressive. It really is. but I just wanted more from a Hulk, especially after getting the SH Figuarts Arts Infinity War one. So I'm a little disappointed. Again, we're going to look at the head sculpt of the Hulk, the unmasked one. I think this is actually a really great head sculpt and can be repainted to be a really good sculpt for either an SHF or another Mezco. So people who cast and things like that, I think this is actually a really good sculpt and this works out pretty well. Just needs to be painted better. Now, as far as accessories, what you get with Hulk is you get 2 hands for holding weapons. These are actually pretty cool. They're sculpted really well. Then we actually have the open palm hands for grabbing other characters or things or just looking ferocious. And my problem with this is that, again, if you had the articulation, I would be able to work wonders with these. But considering articulation is not there, it's just very frustrating for Hulk. Then you also get the hammer and the axe, which you can go into either hand, no problem. And these also seem to be a tad bit smaller than other weapons, that of the SHF and that of the Marvel Select one, which is a little weird. I expected these to actually be bigger, but the fact that they're smaller is a little crazy. But then I also thought about it, right? And hear me out. Now, the fact that these are smaller means maybe it'll fit a lot better in the Thor Ragnarok's Thor Ragnarok's Thor hands for the Mezco. So maybe that could be it. Maybe that's why they're smaller. But I won't know until I take out... Well, actually, I have Thor here, but I'm not going to test it right now. I don't have the hands in front of me. But I'll do it in his review. So I'm going to test these out later. So you'll check that out. Last but not least, guys, we're going to jump into size comparisons, compare a bunch of things and things like that. So I'm going to take off this. Actually, I'm going to leave this head on. I was going to take it off and put on the unhelmeted head, but I'm going to leave it on. First thing I'm going to do is compare it to other Thor Ragnarok Hulks that I own. That being of the SHF and the Marvel Select. And this is actually a real downer because I expected this Hulk to be a lot bigger for its price point. And it's just not. The largest one being the Marvel Select, which is only $25. Then we have the Mezco at $125. And then we have the SHF at $135. You get more engineering, more articulation. Not the complete Hulk Ruffalo look, but again, great articulation, great look. Simply, this is my preference. Articulation plus most of the look. This has a look, but doesn't have the size and does not have the articulation. This has pretty much all three for $25. So technically, this one is the standout victor here. You have the size, you have the sculpt, you have everything. This is your banger. So the clear winner here is the Marvel Select one, which is crazy because we didn't expect that. But it's the winner here. But in terms of what I enjoy for articulation, because it goes far beyond what that of the Marvel Select can do, I'm going with the SHF as my preference. But the better one still here. Anyway, let's get into other size comparison with other lines. Let's talk about it. So, first things first, we're going to compare him to his counterpart from Mezco, which is Thor. I'm actually really excited for Hela because Thor is actually pretty dope, but I'm going to get into that when I do his review. Then here he is next to the SHF counterpart. And it actually looks like this one will work a lot better with the SHF one. It still works really well with this one, but it'll work a lot better with the SHF one. Here he is next to an SH Figuarts Kamen Rider. Heat Metal. Here he is next to a Mythic Legions, which I think for the Thor Ragnarok stuff, this actually works really well. Add some Gladiator stuff. I'm actually going to try to do some mix and match stuff with that. So here we are with the Mythic Legions. Next up, we have a Marvel... Oh, sorry. I blanked out for a second. We have a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Then we have a Synthetic Human. Then we have an Articulated Icons Ninja. Which reminds me I need to get more because Robo is having a sale. So I'm going to pick up a few more. Next up, we're going to compare it to another Mezco. Actually, wait. Just of a different line. Well, sorry. Same line, but Mezco still. This is him next to Tactical Suit Batman. So yeah, he's still a big toy, but again, when you put him up against imports, he'll look gigantic. Put him up against domestics, he won't look that big of a Hulk. He's probably the smallest Hulk to date. But again, looks fantastic. Has the sculpt, just lacks the articulation. Lacks the need mixed match paints. So for $125, I can't recommend this to people. But I'm going to try to make it look cool anyway. And if you still like it and if you still prefer it, that's totally fine. I think you should go out and buy it. Otherwise, I personally can't recommend it though. But in the meantime, guys, hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it informative. Most of all, hope you do good, be good, drink your water, guys. Later.